everyone, it's Theresa with Crafty with Theresa. Thank you for joining me today. In my last video, I mentioned I was trying to go through and see how many projects I could do with one scrapbook kit. Well, this video will show you where I am on that goal so far. I have some basic designs for beginner card makers. I have some time-saving tips, some storage ideas, cost-saving items and ideas, and a little bit more. So, let's take a look. Here you will see a little bit of how I get started. I lay out some designs, and for time's sake, I didn't show you that. I have shown that in other videos, but this video is getting pretty lengthy. So on my phone, I'm showing you that I lay them out, take a picture of it, so when I start to put the card together, I remember my thoughts on the design. Next, I go ahead and put all the pieces together and put them in the card base and secure them with a rubber band to keep items from falling out. Sometimes there are days between my design thoughts and actually putting the card together, so this tends to save me time. And I like going back and looking at that design and tweaking it if need to. It's basically as if I'm using my own sketches. It gives me a jump start. Again, another time-saving tip. For my beginners, you will see this first card is a very basic design with some affordable supplies that won't break the bank. Next, I decided these cards would be good for a set of cards for parents to have for the entire year for their teachers. So here's the stamp set I used mostly throughout this video. It has great sayings on it, good for any type of happy birthday fun. Next, I'm showing you other stamp sets that I will also be using, like the happy birthday balloons and the flowers. However, in the end, I don't put the process for all of these cards, or this video would be forever long, but you will see some cards with the cute balloons and the flowers. Next, I wanted to show you that I happen to have the Spectrum Noir markers. However, for the first card today, I wanted to put another video out for my beginners and show you that you can use something as simple as colored pencils to get the same effect. When I start to put my focal point together, I just take a larger than what I need white daisy cardstock. Then you'll see later I cut that down. I have already cut out my mask, so my focal point will look a little dimensional. The cup with the pencils and markers will be in the front and everything else will appear behind it. I'll stamp the cup first with the pencils and then start adding my mask in one at a time. A cost-saving idea here that I use is I will take a Post-it note and stamp on it and cut it out and use that for my mask. There's all kinds of other opportunities to use other masks, but if you're a beginner, it's actually a good way to kind of help save you money as you get started. On the right, there is a tube which is actually for paintbrushes, I think, but I put some of my most used colored pencils so I can quickly grab them. This is just one of my storage ideas. I would love to hear others if you have other ideas for storing some of our craft supplies. So I've dumped out all the pencils and will grab what I think I'll use. These are the pencils I think I picked up for my grandkids for $2 US in the arts and crafts section at a department store. Now I always sharpen them before I use them. I'll then start coloring my stamped image lightly and then go back over them and add shading as I need to. Now I'll go ahead and start putting my mask on, doing my stamping, and doing the coloring that we just talked about, and play some music for you as we go along. Enjoy. And I'll be back at the end with more ideas to share. Here, I've used that favorite happy birthday stamp and added it to the inside of the card. Sometimes it's easier for me to start that way. I wanted to show you this because if someone doesn't have a stamping platform, it might be the best option to start here. Because if I put all of the papers and the focal point and the dimensional items on the front, it's not so great if you turn around and mess up the inside of the card. It can be done, but I would prefer, if I don't have a stamping platform, to go ahead and put that happy birthday in on the inside of that card first. I've picked a basic layout for this card. This design is more of a masculine birthday teacher card. I'm using a Tombow adhesive tape runner. Because I tend to do bulk card making, if you've watched my videos, you have seen that I use a much larger tape runner. So it was an investment for me. If you're a beginner or someone who just wants to do a few cards here and there, the Tombow tape runner is fantastic. You'll see I add some glue around the backside of the base, but that's because I know some of my cards may sit for a while in someone's purse or even at the nursing home, so I always want to make sure that they stay put. Now the strip here is just a supply I got from CloseToMyHeart. CloseToMyHeart puts a 1/4 inch strip on top of the 12 by 12 papers that you get in your scrapbook kit. I tend to add them here and there and use them quite often on my cards because I think they give them just that little extra touch. Lastly, here is my favorite cost-saving item. At any of your department stores, you can find art supplies that have what I call fun foam. It has adhesive on one side and the foam on the other. It is perfect to add dimension to the card, but not so much that it makes the card bulky or cost extra postage. I will put a little bit on the adhesive side, attach it to the back of my focal point piece, and then pull the rest of the paper down. Then I add glue to the foam and attach that whole piece to the card. Lastly, just for fun, I always add a block to secure this item, any of my items, to dry. If you've seen my Frugal Friday videos, you saw a trick I had for cleaning the block. Mine tend to get pretty gummy because of all the cards I make. Next, I wanted to add a simple letter to the phrase, "Good to be you." So one of my time-saving tips, with my alphabet die, I take my capital and lowercase A to Z alphabet dies and I cut multiples of them. I file them in these makeshift 6x6 storage pages and then just grab them when I need them. I'll have more about that in an upcoming Frugal Friday video. But I would like to know, when you have extra letters, I would love to hear from other crafters how you store those extra letters. So I changed my mind, and if you watch my videos, you know I do that quite often. But I did want to show you this. One of my other time-saving tips, when I get a scrapbook kit, I will make the scrapbook layouts I need. Stay tuned. You'll see some layouts coming up in my end of July video. Then I'll cut down the leftover papers, most of them anyway, into 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch in size so that I can turn around and use them for card bases. If the design is real busy, I'll go ahead and cut them into 4 by 5 1/4 size bases and put a solid color underneath it. But by doing this, it saves me time when I go to put cards together. And as you'll see in this next card, I've already got those bases put together and ready to go, so all I have to do is add my focal points. For my intermediate card makers, here you'll see yet another basic card. However, the happy birthday set with the balloons has a die cut. So if you have this type of machine, you can take the focal point and add that onto this card. The coloring is basic and done with my Spectrum Noir markers. Because you really don't know what type of teacher cards you might need, I built in a generic card. First, here's an example where I started with one idea and sketch and changed my mind. I started with a green background and then found an alphabet design paper in my stash. So I changed it up, fitting for a teacher, and added that layer in as well. If a teacher in her class gets a reward, it's a great card for a parent to give to that teacher. Again, I thought these would be good as school is beginning to start real soon, to let those teachers know how much you appreciate them. Well, if you haven't dozed off yet, here's a look at the 3 cards plus the other items so far that I've made with just this one scrapbook kit. I do have more, but I wanted to get this video out so you could see these 3 cute teacher cards. Again, there'll be more coming. And stay tuned because my end of month video will be out showing you not only all of the cards I made in the month of July, but you'll also see some layouts that we made in our club virtual crop where we actually used Backyard Bliss, and this has to be one of my favorite scrapbook kits. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button and the notification button so you'll see new videos as they come out. Until next time, have a great day.